Arttitude Cosmetics, a lovely UK indie brand, have come out with a new collection and I have the new palette to play with today. It was very kindly sent to me in PR and I am so excited about the colour story. So this is the Metamorph palette from Arttitude. I love the packaging of this. It's kind of similar to the others that they brought out with the little cutouts and then so cute, so cute. So like I say, they are a UK based indie brand and I've supported them for quite a while. I am an affiliate with them and I do have a code that can save you some pennies on the website if you want to pick anything up, and I do earn a small commission from that. So if you do use my code, thank you for supporting my channel. I gasped when I opened this palette because it has got a colour story that just screams to me. I do love green eyeshadow, but then I also love purples and blues. So this palette does have 16 shades, however, you will get an extra one separately in a little plastic that comes with your order just because the owner, she's absolutely lovely. She wasn't 100% happy with one of the shades in the palette, and instead of trying to take it out herself and replace it and maybe damaging the palette, she's just included it as an extra because she wasn't 100% happy with how it swatched and performed. I really appreciate when owners of brands do that. They see something, it's the finished product, it'd be easy to just push it out and ignore that, but she's really conscious about quality. So like I say, I appreciate that that extra shade is included, and when you see the swatches, this extra shade will be slightly further up my arm on its own separately, so you know which one it is. So it says there are 4 unique textures in this palette, 9 buttery easy to blend mattes, 2 gorgeous high definition foils and 3 soft multi-chromes with a subtle colour shift and 2 metallic multi-chromes with an intense colour shift. Now I have already swatched this palette and I was blown away. It is like butter when you're swatching these shades, especially the multi-chromes. Like these 2 up here are insanely beautiful. And I did definitely notice the texture difference in the shimmer formulas, and I appreciate in a palette when there is more than one texture to a shimmer. Just adds a little bit of variety, versatility. You can mix things up a bit. Now I'm planning to do 2 looks for you in this video because there's so much that I want to do with this palette and I can just see so many looks. So I thought, why not do 2? Now this palette should be launching on the 31st of July at 6 PM UK time, and I believe it's going to retail for about £41.99, and that's in pounds. And I think it's a little bit more expensive than some of the others that they've brought out in the past just because of those gorgeous multi-chromes. But all of the information for the launch and where you can pick up this palette and my code and everything should be in the description box down below. Now enough waffling on, let's dive into the close-ups and the swatches.
Here's to the good days, here's to the sorrows. If this is a mistake, I know about tomorrow. I don't wanna fight no more, cause I don't feel the need no more, no. Just wanna make it stop. Maybe it's something in the water, or maybe we just hit the end of the road. Right now it doesn't even matter. It's too late not to let it go, and that's why I wish you the best and say goodbye. You start to get dressed and then we cry.
Now I absolutely love that this is a smaller palette. Like my favourite palette, let me grab it, hold on. My favourite palette from the brand is the Man-Eater palette, and I still love this palette. It's amazing quality with an amazing colour story. I do have a video on this and I've done a few looks on Instagram if you want to check them out, but I still really rate this palette. Now this one is a little bit smaller. How many shades has this got? 20. There's 20 in this one. I appreciate a smaller, more curated colour story, and you've got variety. Like if you do prefer greens, maybe this one. So like I say, I do love me a little bit of depth, and obviously with the extra shade we do have all the depth that I require. We've got mid-tones, light tones, we have a plethora of shimmers to play with. This is going to be fun. It has also been a little while since I've filmed again. I've just been absolutely so busy, so I can't even remember if I told you everything that I would usually tell you. Also, not to mention the fact it's been so hot in the UK, and this beauty room that I'm in just gets so hot when I don't open the window and try and keep it as quiet as possible for you guys. So yeah, I was avoiding the heat also. It's a little bit cooler today, but I'm still hot. So This shade Flutter, like, also can I just point out the indentations in the pan as well. I'm not sure we've had indentations in the shades before. I have already swatched this, so yeah, it's not as pristine as it once was. But this colour here, I love a shade like that, and I'm thinking maybe toward the inner corner. I'm also loving the shade Flight down here as well. I'm feeling a bit of a cut crease situation coming on with this. I think that is likely what I'm gonna do. But I want to start out with the shade called Emperor, which is this one up here. It's got a little bit of depth to it, and it looks like a delicious purple. Wow, I've picked up a lot on my brush. Like, wow, okay. And yes, I'm going to be packing that in the outer corner. So because I'm going to be doing a cut crease, it doesn't really matter what is going on the lid, because that is all going to be cut away and gone over. Look at the pigment. Look at the delicious purple pigment. So much of the shades get lost in my crease when I relax my eyes. It's insane. If you know, you know. If you struggle with this too, which is why I take my shades up quite high. The richness and the depth in that purple. Oh, look at that highlight. That is the Cosmic Brushes highlighter palette, the shade Blueberry. I just thought it'd go nicely with the purples that I wanted to use today. So after kind of pushing it in, I haven't actually blended anything yet. I am kind of just sort of pushing on the edge a little bit as well. And I do want to blow this out a little bit with some other shades, I think. And take a little dinky brush and just make sure that that connects up to the lower lash line, because that is how I like to do my makeups. Then I think I want to take a little bit of the shade called Spring, which is more of a pinky purple. I mean, some people might say it's still a purple, some people might say it's a pink. I would go more leaning towards pink. And I'm just going to dab this on the very edges of that deeper purple to begin with, before I start to fully blend. And I will go back in with that first purple just to make sure I haven't lost any intensity, and I can make sure the blend is how I want it to be. But slowly, slowly, Catchy Monkey. Look how them shades look together. That is stunning. And just pulling it out ever so slightly. Oh, I think I even have... Do I still have my little butterflies that I can stick on the edges at the end? Because obviously it's all very, very butterfly heavy because of Metamorph. Love the theming of the palette. I love it when it's a good theme and a good colour story. And I'm going to continue that Spring shade just above my crease and bring it a little bit further in. I don't want to bring too much depth into this part. Then I've been dying to use the shade Flutter because it speaks to me no end. It's possibly my favourite matte tone in the palette. I just want to start pressing this in. And then just blending on the very edges just to soften it up a bit. No issues whatsoever with any of those delicious matte shades right now. Of course I will work on the blend of these because I've got quite a few colours going on, but I'm really happy with how that is looking. Then I will take a little bit more of Flutter just to pop on the lower lash line. And I think I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to jump off, cut my crease, and then we're going to play with even more delicious shades. So, cut crease is on, and I'm thinking I want to use Flight. Like I said, that's another shade that I absolutely love in this palette, and I want to put that toward the inner corner. Then we need to go into maybe one of the delicious multi-creams. Maybe we could go into Floral or Butterfly. That is Floral. It is so foily and shifty. I'm not entirely sure if you're going to see the full shift on my finger. And then we also have... Oh, wow! They are very shifty shades. It's very difficult to show on camera. So I'm going to pick up Flight first and just pack that into the inner corner because I just feel like that shade is going to go so nicely. Let's just tap out the creases. This is gonna match so nicely. I feel like I want to line the cut crease as well, and I do have a palette from Arttitude Cosmetics that is full of water activated liners, so I could definitely grab that and just put a little line of something along the cut crease just to make it stand out a little bit more. Look at that shade. Do you know, pollen would be really nice as well. That is actually quite a shifty shade. It goes from like a pink to a peach. That would be really nice too. Do you know what? I'm going to go for pollen. Who am I? I just feel like that will keep it light and bright, and it's got like a pink in it. Do you know? Don't hate me for not using that gorgeous butterfly shade. At some point it will definitely be used. Do you see? Do you see the vision? And also I'm trying not to do what I would typically do. Do you know? I don't want to continually recreate the same looks over and over again so everybody's super bored. So there you go. I've used a shade I wouldn't normally use. Not with this look anyway. Just make sure that shade is nice and blended in, and then I can try and go on a hunt for my butterflies. Colour combination is just absolutely delicious, which is why I love the look of the palette when I opened it, because I've got a lot of the shades on my eyes now. Do I use a little bit of Renew, which is a bit of a different formula. It's a little bit, it's got like little chunks in it. So I don't really know how that would look. Should I just put it on the inner corner? Should we experiment? Oh, that's cute. Okay. Oh. I'm just gonna dab it. Oh, I can see the difference. I don't know how much you'll be seeing the difference because I'm going in with very, very little, because I'm a little bit scared, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, I like that. Ooh, oh, that just makes that matte look a little bit glistening, just a tiny, tiny bit. I love that. That's very mermaidy, you know. Okay, okay, that's cute. I need to stop faffing. I'm gonna go off, put the water activated liner where the cut crease is, try and find my butterflies, put something in the waterline, lashes, all of that, and then I'll be back. So I may have went a little bit crazy with the butterflies when you left me alone. So really it's your fault that there's this many butterflies on my face. I think they look really nice the way they catch light. They are just some cheap ones from Amazon. I bought these so long ago, so I'm not sure I'll be able to link them. It was just like butterfly nail art, and they come in the little compartments in different colours. But I think for this collection and for this look it really works, because obviously it is all butterfly themed. I did stick on some dramatic lashes. I feel like a dramatic colourful look like this needed just a little something dramatic in the outer corner. And for my waterline I did use the P. Louise and Mitchell Acid Rain paint in Ibiza, just because I absolutely love the shade of this. And yeah, it looks really nice in the waterline, ties it all in, pulls it together, and I did line the cut crease with my Arttitude Cosmetics Split It Painter's Paradise palette. That was also gifted to me in PR, and I love the two shades in the bottom corner, my absolute favourite, these two pastels, and I used the purple one just to make that cut crease stand out that little bit more. And now I'm looking at it, I'm thinking maybe I could just add a little something to the brow bone. I don't usually add a little anything to the brow bone anymore, to be honest, but because we're so extra with this look, I'm just going to add a little bit of that Renew shade that we popped toward the inner corner, because, I mean, we've got all the glow going on. So we might as well have a little bit up there as well. Have I gone in a bit too heavy? Maybe, maybe. But yeah, that is finished look number 1, guys. Please do let me know what you think down below. I don't know what I'm going to do for look number 2. I'm going to try and use some shades that I didn't use in this look, but I did pick all of my favourite looking shades out of the palette so far for this look, apart from the Floral and Butterfly. I'm not sure if we're going to use them because we also do have a shimmery green. But yeah, quality wise, absolutely stunning. Everything that I used I loved, easy to work with. It feels like really good quality that I am used to from Arttitude Cosmetics, so I'm excited to go into the next look. So for look number 2, of course I couldn't not use the green, which is called Metamorph, and it looks beautiful. I'm also thinking maybe we'll use the green matte next to it. Maybe this pink called Monarch. Formulating a plan. So I'm going to take the shade Monarch first, and I'm going to start by packing that all in the outer corner and crease area. That is such a pretty shade. Ooh. And of course I'm going to use something to deepen it up with because it's me and I can't not deepen it up with something, but I just want to get this one down first and just packing it on. No blending yet, but what a beautiful shade. That is so delicious. I want to pop that just running onto the lower lash line as well. I am so excited to use that green shimmer. If you know me, you know I love anything green. Then to deepen it up a little bit, I am just going to take the very smallest amount of the shade Emperor up here and just put a little bit of that just in the very outer corner, just so I've got my depth where I want it to be, but I don't want that shade to overtake the shade we already have down. She says adding more and more. Back in with a bit of Monarch, just on the edges of that deeper purple. And that has deepened things up nicely. Now I want to use the green matte called Dew, and it's that one there. And it's a very nice muted kind of green. And let's just tap out the creases. We don't want to set the creases. I'm just going to start to press that into that crease area. And green doesn't necessarily blend into purple really well. It can look a little bit muddy if you do that. So I am just going to be placing it next to the purple rather than fully blending it in, but it's all okay because we're going to add some shimmer and it'll look absolutely fine, like it is kind of ish, almost blended. So of course I want to use some of the shimmer shades that we haven't used yet, and I'm thinking Metamorph, which is the shimmery green, looks gorgeous. And I'm also thinking maybe a little bit of floral towards the purple in the outer corner. It's not going to show its full potential because with a multi-chrome, if you put it all over the lid, because it's a curved surface as well, you're going to get that full effect. But I'm just going to use a little bit of it to blend into that purple. So we're going to go from the green to the purple, but near the inner corner I think I am going to use the shade Renew that we used before, just to keep it light and bright in that area. So picking up the shimmery green first, I am going to spray it. And then I'll start to pack that sort of toward the middle of the lid. There was no way I was going to be testing this palette and not using this shade because, hello, look at it. And I'm not going to do a cut crease type thing with this shade. I am just going to kind of flick my brush so it meets up with the matte and then sort of fades into the matte nicely. But I am leaving that just inner corner area free so I can use that other shade there. Now I've flipped my brush over and I'm going to go into Floral, which is that multi-chrome, and I am just going to pack it like a little sandwich in between that green shimmer and the purple matte, and I'm doing it at a bit of an angle just because I feel like that is flattering to the eye when it's sort of drawn out in a diagonal direction. But like I said, you're not going to see the full potential of that multi-chrome unless it is all over the lid. I can see so many more looks with this palette. Like as I'm looking at it now, there's so many more things I want to do, so many colour combinations, which is always a good thing. Then like I said, we're going to go into Renew for the inner corner and I'm going to start plopping that in there. Yeah, that's definitely a little bit brighter. It's got lots of different reflex in it. There is a little bit of blue in this as well. I can definitely see a little bit of blue, a little bit of green. Although this shade is a little bit more difficult to pick up on a brush just because of its formula, it looks really nice in the inner corner. And I think that is more or less it for the eyeshadow, so I'm going to jump off and finish up this look. You know, that green is making me very happy right now. So I had to match it in the waterline. I went in with the P. Louise and Mitchell Acid Rain Paint in Limelight. I believe you can actually still get this. Not everything that I'm using in this video is going to be linked down below like it usually is, just because I can't actually remember everything that I used in my first look. But yeah, this is what I used in the waterline just to tie in with the green that is on the lid. I absolutely love the way this has come together. I did kind of just throw shimmers at my face, but it definitely works. This is very dramatic, which is my comfort zone. It's what I love in makeup, especially bright, colourful makeup like this. It makes me very happy. I know it's not going to be for everyone, and I'm sure there's going to be other people that are doing reviews on this palette that will definitely use the more toned down shades, especially the brown. I don't usually gravitate towards a brown straight away in a palette if there are other shades that I can use before that are bright and colourful, but obviously there's a lot I still need to use in this palette. I haven't used every shade, and I can definitely see lots of different colour combinations and looks that I can do. I think this colour story and the aesthetic of this palette is fantastic. Like, the theme of it, I think a lot of people are gonna love. Butterflies are a very sentimental thing to a lot of people, and the artwork on the front, everything about this palette I really enjoy. And one of the main things I do enjoy in a palette is lots of different shimmer formulas and different types of shimmers. So we do have the multi-chromes, we do have this more different sort of iridescent, sort of toppery, strange shade that I don't really know quite how to describe it. We have some more normal leaning shimmers, and then we've got this, like, it's a little bit flaky looking in the pan, but when you actually swatch it, it's totally, oh, that could have been cute for this look. Look, it's too late now, Kerry, stop it. But it's like a purple with a blue shift. It's just absolutely stunning how this palette has been put together, and it's definitely been well thought out colour story wise. I think it's going to please a lot of people. It's just, it's giving me like ethereal fairy vibes. Anybody else? If you were looking to try Arttitude Cosmetics for the first time, I don't think you can go wrong picking this up for your first purchase. But of course, if you just want to shop your stash and use similar shades in your collection, that's great as well. Not everybody is here to shop. Some people just want to see the colour combinations, and I do enjoy that myself. Now, there are other things launching with this collection. I think there are some highlighters, there's a makeup bag, there's some brushes. I can't remember everything that's in the collection, but of course I will link this palette down below when it is available. I will have the launch day, time, all of the information that you're going to need, as well as Arttitude's website and Instagram. Please do check it out if you want to see the other things in the collection as well. Let me know what you think to this palette. Is this intriguing to you? Is it something you're considering picking up? And have you shopped from Arttitude Cosmetics before? Don't forget, if you do shop from them, you can use a code to save some money on your order, and if you use my code, it is this one on the screen. I'm going to pop it somewhere, and it is affiliated, so if you do use my code to save yourself some money on your purchase, then I do earn a small commission, so thank you so much for supporting my channel. And don't forget to let me know which is your favourite look, the first one or this one. I think most people are going to pick the first one, but I don't know, kind of looking at this now, it's the green, isn't it? It's the green pulling me in. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, guys, and if this is the sort of content that you enjoy, then please do consider subscribing. I will of course leave down below all of my socials, as well as my YouTube membership and my Patreon group, and hopefully guys, I'll see you in my next video. Bye!